Hi friends, it's been a while. We've had some strange weather again. We had lots of wind. I think we had some rain last week. And it's been chilly at night, and we're probably going to get a frost soon, so I've been harvesting as much as I can. I harvested a bunch of herbs. Look at that nasturtium. How happy it is. And we'll have to harvest the Jerusalem artichokes before the ground freezes. I tried to save some seeds. I harvested some vervain, mullein, mugwort, lemongrass. I'm trying to remember what else I harvested. I think I harvested some self-heal. So it's been a wild ride. And I harvested some feverfew. There's been not a lot going on in the garden. We harvested potatoes. It was another disappointment, so I don't think I'll be doing that again. I think they really need to be in the ground. They do not work well in the bags, but we haven't figured out how they work well. I did harvest some marjoram and some rosemary, but I had 20 string bean plants, and I don't even know what I got this year. If I got a total of 2 cups, that's a lot. But even the peas that I seeded, nothing grew. Some of the lettuce sprouted, but didn't really grow. It just was a rough, disappointing year. And I'm not really sure if it was weather related, if it was something that I can't see that is affecting the plants. But even I harvested kale, it tasted so weird. It tasted like soap. It's just really strange, and we hadn't sprayed anything on it. I'm still dealing with pests, worms in the squash, and I did reach out to a homeopath who specifically just does gardening stuff, and so he told me what to do, and I think it's probably too late to do it this year, but we're gonna go inside and we're gonna make up the remedy. We're gonna use some sweet Annie, some wormwood, and some mugwort together. There was a bunny hanging out back here. I guess it's gone now. And we're gonna make a JT tincture. So this is all mugwort here, and I saved this one because it's protective, so you want to use the flowering tops when you make a tincture. And I don't think mine is from the flowering top, so I'm using those flowering tops today. And that's where the most medicine potency is. Oh, look at that second bloom on the evening primrose. That's interesting. Yeah, we're also still trying to process that. My husband did tell me the lilacs were blooming again, which is so weird because it's the end of October. And we had a late frost last year, and it looks like we're going to have a late frost this year, but I know it's going to come. And so I want to be prepared. So I did harvest a bunch of tomatoes that were turning. And I did harvest some tomatillos. You could see some of the tomatillos are getting damaged from the cold. But they're still producing. But you could see the squash is completely been killed by the borers. That one part is still kind of holding on, but relentless. So that says to keep using the camphor, which I was doing, the pellet, and then this tincture to spray on the plants. But I don't even know if it's worth doing it this year because the plants are so stressed and the frost is going to come. I have a few good sized ones on there, but they all have worm damage to them, so they will probably be dog food. It's hard. This has been a really hard year in a lot of ways. I've dealt with a lot of health issues again, which caused a lot more stress on my marriage. We've dealt with issues in the garden, disappointments, disease, lots of bugs. And, you know, that creates a whole nother level of stress. And the cosmos finally bloomed. Look how tall they are. They got knocked down by the wind. But they're like, I don't know, 8 feet tall. And so stress is something we have to contend with in life, right? But it's hard sometimes not to let it define us. It's hard sometimes to be resilient. It's hard sometimes to not give up. It's hard sometimes to just live life. And this is the struggle that I've been having the past 4 months. Is it's been really hard. And I've had to cut down on commitments, and I've had to do less when I thought I needed to do more. And my body would shut me down and say, no, you're going to do less today. And it, you know, a lot of the shoulds came up, a lot of the expectations of what needed to be done, of what I'm supposed to be doing. And that's hard, right? And life is hard. And sometimes it's really hard to look for the silver lining, to see new growth of squash that don't have worms in them. It's hard sometimes to see, man, what's happening here? What's right in front of us? That I still have lots of food growing. Yeah, it's green tomatoes, but it's food, right? I could ferment these tomatoes. And maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll ferment some green tomatoes when we go inside. I harvested, this is the wormwood here, Sweet Annie's. And I had cut a lot of it back. I'd actually cut the blooms off. But I found in my closet, which is my apothecary, a wormwood tincture. And tinctures, if you do them right and you do them in alcohol, they last 10 years. So I'm just going to use that and see how it goes. And I'm going to spray it on the plants and see what happens. You could see we still have blossoms. And typically I would have cut all the blossoms off by now. I would have trimmed these plants. But you know what? I just haven't had it in me. The marigolds have filled in nicely. And I'm just following Mother Nature. I'm doing less. I'm letting go of the things I've held on to for years that are not serving me, that haven't served me, that have actually made me sick. They've actually made me more stressed. They've actually made me think that if I grasp tighter to them, I'll have more control. Because uncertainty is so scary. Change is so scary. And I'm facing a lot of change right now in my life. The garden is facing a lot of change right now. And it's uncertain. And it's scary as shit. And I'm not going to pretend it's not. But at the same time, I could see that the loppers were left out. At the same time, though, I can remind myself that in this moment right now, I'm okay. I'm safe. I'm fed. There is no pressing urgency. Now at 3 a.m. when I wake up with anxiety and panic attacks and nausea, I want to throw up. It's hard to forget that I'm safe in this moment. It's easy to forget. It's easy to forget that I'm safe in this moment. It's easy to forget that I can come back to now. That I can remind myself I'm safe. That I can take a deep breath. That I can just be with what is. And then that's all that I need right now. That I could surrender, right? That surrender isn't a dirty word. That surrender doesn't mean giving up. It doesn't mean quitting. It means I'm asking for help. It means that I'm looking outside of myself for something bigger than me to support me. Doesn't mean I'm looking outside of myself for the answers, because I'm not. But we're taught to do that. But I'm remembering, what is it that I need right now? What is it that Mother Nature can provide for me? Yeah, it's interesting. I don't see the blooms on. I see this lilac. Looks like it's dying. It has absolutely no leaves on it. Well, I don't know what he was talking about. I thought I'd walk us out here, but you could see all the Vitex. I have to harvest this. It's filled with lots of seeds. And you could see The zinnias finally have some disease on them, but it took a long time. And look how happy they are. The St. John's wort is blooming again. So I can choose to stay focused on the bad, on the scary, on the uncertainty, on the not having control, not knowing what the future will hold for me and B. You don't like green tomatoes, silly. Or, you okay? I can choose the now. And what is. And just relax into this moment, this time and space. And be here now. Watching Bee play. Watching her chase things. And learning from her. What can you choose to do right now? Share with me in the comments below. Until next time, friends.